So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out, and we can see straight away as the match kicks off and Claw gives the countdown in local, a huge pile of hammerheads coming out from the Kadeshi and Hornet EC300s.
And it looks to me like these Nightmares do have micro warp drives, which could be the deciding factor. A lot of the Kadeshi teams already on top of the Caracols. We have one Caracol going into armor now. The Scorpion will be going into armor shortly. The Kadeshi team has lost 2 or 3 Succubus already, but the DPS is just going to get closer and closer. These Kadeshi Nightmares are too fast. It's going to be a really quick match, I think.
Yep, that is probably the fastest I've ever seen a Nightmare move in my life, to be honest. We've got, wow, just one Caracal in structure. I was watching that as Kill2 was speaking there, and one Caracal just being absolutely pounded by these Nightmares. The Scorpion of Shivada from RUR being absolutely battered into its armor. The DPS from this All Sancha team is unreal.
Yeah, it is a lot of firepower once they're on top of them, but the RUR team doing a good job. All the Succubus gone now for the Kadeshi team, and they're going to work on one of the Phantasms, which is already low shields. We still haven't lost a Caracol. That one Caracol that was getting shot at, now at 20% structure, but hasn't gone down. A second Caracol, low shields, and Scorpion about to die. Scorpion, low structure. And we did lose that Phantasm, so RUR doing an amazing job here considering how well the Kadeshi seem to be set up to counter them.
Yep, this is definitely an interesting match. We've lost the Scorpion from the RUR team. We have two Caracals into structure, heavily into structure, about to go down. We have another one that's lost all of its shield. There's only 3 Nightmares on the field remaining for the Kadeshi team, but Caracal's just taken massive amount of damage from the alpha of these 3 Nightmares.
Yeah, and now we're going to see some Caracals go down. Finally lost one. Another one's low structure, but he must be out of range. He's starting to regen shields. A third Caracol now in armor, 80% armor, taking damage. These Nightmares are cap transferring and running active tanks like we've seen the Dominixes do earlier in the tournament. So we have one shield boosting, the other 2 transferring cap to make sure he stays up. We're about to lose one more Caracol. It looks like 3 Caracols now. Deep armor, so it could turn around really fast, but that first Nightmare is just about to enter armor, and he won't do very well once he gets there.
This is absolutely unreal. First Nightmare, half armor for the Kadeshi team. 3 Caracal Navy issues in trouble for the RUR team. This is absolutely unreal. The amount of DPS these guys are putting down is unbelievable. We have 3 Nightmares, soon to be 2 on the field for the Kadeshi, and 6, soon to be 5 Caracal Navy issues on the field for RUR.
That Nightmare is just hanging in there, boosting shields back at 40% structure. Kadeshi team trying to put out some damage, but I don't see very many lasers active on these Nightmares. We know there's E-War being fielded by the Caracols, probably dampeners, and so I'm not sure if they can lock. And we did just lose that first Nightmare. Still 6 Caracol Navy issues active for RUR, 2 Nightmares now on the field for the Kadeshi.
Yeah, the DPS that these Nightmares have put out is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, we've got 2 Caracal Navy issues in trouble, another 4 that are untouched. Wow, just RUR really the underdogs coming into this tournament. No one really knew who they were or what they're doing in. We thought that their last loadout might have been a fluke and might have just been a load of T1 ships that were thrown together for no particular reason, but they've really brought it home with this setup, and they're on the verge of destroying effectively a 6 billion-ish setup.
Yeah, and this is over, really. There's drones, Kadeshi drones, chasing around these Navy Caracols. It's possible that one of them will get finished off, but this is the position I expected the RUR team to be in at the start of the match. They've got damps running on the Nightmares, and the Caracols are orbiting out at far enough range that the Nightmares are not able to lock. There's no sensor boosters running on the Nightmares. They need the slots for the shield tank, and so they're just not able to do that damage. They have huge potential, but they can't put it out, and the drones have one of these Navy Caracols down to 20% structure and still taking damage, so they might get another kill or 2, but we have a Nightmare in armor again now, so I think RUR are right where they want to be. Oh, there's some locks. I just saw lasers light up.
Oh! RUR just about losing another Caracal Navy issue from being full hit points in pretty much one volley there. Just absolutely flattened into half structure. I'm really not sure what's going to happen here. If they can keep the EW on, then we might see RUR take the match. But they've just lost another Caracal Navy issue, another one just hanging onto a sliver of structure, and a third deep in armor. We've got Coronos in the Nightmare that's in trouble for the Kadeshi, just hanging onto his shield there. He's got roughly about 70% armor, and that shield booster is just going absolutely hell for leather to keep him alive.
Oh, and that's so critical. That Caracol just got a little too close. It looks like their lock range is probably something like 20k, and he just got right inside it. It was enough to kill him, and as soon as he dies, that's less dampeners and less DPS, so his tank tries harder to recover. One more Caracol Navy issue down, and another one at 20% structure, still holding, and lock range is going to keep getting longer, and the DPS is going to keep getting lighter on these Nightmares, but still, this Nightmare, 20% structure, and he's down. So only one Nightmare left. That will probably do it. Now that AWAR's concentrated again, that lock range will get short, and the DPS will be enough without the cap transfer from the other Nightmares. I think that'll seal the match, but really, really, really close.
This has got me on the edge of my seat. It's unbelievable. We have one Caracal Navy issue for RUR, hanging on with a sliver, maybe not even 5% structure sat there, and we have the remaining Nightmare of Red Hand from the Kadeshi, just taking an absolute pounding with heavy missiles, but he's hanging in there for now.
I mean, these Nightmare tanks are huge. It's just going to be a matter of waiting until his cap gets low. It looks like the Caracol's not doing enough damage really to break him. He goes down into shields and then he reps it right back, but eventually he won't have the cap to run the tank, and then we'll see him drop unless something changes. And now with only one left, it's very difficult for him to do anything about the EWAR. With 2 or 3 that can manipulate range, make the Caracols orbit, since the arena is a little too small, make them orbit close and get hit, but now by himself he's really out of options, and so you know, he's tanking, he's now maybe 80% shield, starting to take some permanent damage, but Caracol's not taking anything now, so probably RUR safely has the win now.
It's interesting to think of it, but I believe that this bodes well for both of these teams. Both of them have scored quite a lot of points, and both of them are on the winning side of today's set of matches. So it looks as if both of them may go through and actually make it to face each other again in the final. You never know. But we can see, wow, just this Caracal Navy issue sat here. It's got literally a sliver of structure left. There is nothing in it. It's literally a pixel of structure on my screen here, and it's just unbelievable. We've got the one remaining Nightmare for the Kadeshi team, roughly hovering at about 60% shield, and just, again, his shield booster just going absolutely crazy to try and keep him alive.
Yeah, it's doing the job pretty well. He's just now starting to take a little more. He's down to maybe 60% shield. This is such an interesting match. I expected, looking at the teams, that there would be dampeners that would keep most of the Kadeshi team from ever really doing any damage. I would never have thought that they could actually get within damage range and still RUR recover after that. I mean, that's some really outstanding piloting, FCing. They did everything right. They really had a tough match on their hands here, and they definitely pulled it off.
Yeah, from what we can see here as well, this Nightmare pilot is no fool. He's actually running around trying to, from what we can gather here, he's actually trying to salvage, he's actually trying to get a hold of Cap Booster 800s from the wrecks of his teammates' Nightmares. So this guy definitely wants to survive, but I don't think it's going to work for him. He's slowly approaching the low end of shield now, and it looks as if he's going to go down soon.
Yeah, tank's starting to break. He you know, he may have been overheating early on, or he might be struggling for cap now, and that's why he's looking for boosters, but it's not going to be enough. He's now getting to where he's going to be hitting armor, and like with the other ones, once he gets to armor, it won't be much longer. That Caracol that was at 5% structure hasn't taken damage in a long time. His shields are back up to 25 or 30%.
And this has just turned into probably one of the most entertaining matches I've seen so far. We've got the remaining Nightmare of Red Hand from the Kadeshi, slipping at roughly about 50% armor now. He's just about to go down pretty soon. We've got the Caracal of I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name actually, from CHN from RUR, just hanging around in a sliver of structure. But that Nightmare now, Nightmare of Red Hand, going down very hard against the fire of these 4 remaining Caracals.
Yeah, and he has made it to a wreck, so maybe now at one of his fellow Nightmare wrecks, maybe he'll get a couple more shield boosts, but it really doesn't matter. Really good piloting, though. I think it's pretty clear that both RUR and the Kadeshi did an awesome job, too. They really gave RUR a run for their money in a situation that looked pretty difficult to me. but not enough. We're seeing that Nightmare just now. He did manage to shield boost a bit, and there he goes. So complete wipeout by RUR, left with 4 Navy Caracols.